Imagine a virtual world where billions of people live, work, shop and interact with each other, all from the comfort of their own couches or from their own desks. The computer screens we use today to connect to a World Wide Web will become portals of a 3D virtual realm that mimics real life, only bigger and better. And digital versions of ourselves, or avatars, will move freely from one activity to another, taking our identity and money with us. So fasten your seatbelts as we journey through the anticipated virtual world of the Metaverse and what's to come. So let's get started. Quick disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. Alright, now let's get right into this video. And before we start, I do want to say that all the links you will need, all the things we will talk about, will be down in the description. So the first thing we need to talk about before we talk about Metaverse and the impact it has had on the world and business is, well, what are we talking about when we're talking about a Metaverse? Right now we have a lot of different projects, like hundreds of projects, all developing their own Metaverse. And they're all kind of the same thing, but they have different aspects, and some are building just a very small Metaverse. Others are rebuilding the entire world and calling it their Metaverse. So what will we call a Metaverse in this video? Well, in general, our definition for a Metaverse in this video will be a shared online 3D space where users can interact with each other and with computer-generated objects and avatars. So it is a virtual world that uses the internet as its underlying network, usually also accompanied by blockchain. And metaverses are used for various purposes, including social networking, online gaming, education, and training. Alright, so we're really just talking about that online 3D space where people can interact, and it's based on the internet. We're not going to be talking about one specific purpose, but more just in general the technology or the idea. Because if we talk about all the different projects there are, they can be used, metaverses, to create virtual worlds that mirror the real world, like we just talked about, or they can be used to create entirely new and imaginary worlds, or just a very small part of the world. So in general, it is accepted that they offer a unique and immersive experience unlike anything else on the internet. And apart from that, they're also constantly evolving and expanding, and they offer endless possibilities for exploration and interaction. So metaverses have definitely had an impact on the business world and everything within it. So for example, it has created a whole new array of different use cases to be used by new companies, but also companies in the Web 2 space that can now use metaverses and all of the different things that metaverses bring to enhance their user experience, but also to, for example, increase their product value. So for example, right now, businesses are already using augmented reality and virtual reality to provide experiences for customers and engage them in ways they've never done before. So for example, for you, when a new Star Wars movie premiered in Japan, clothing retailer H&M set up a designer booth in their Tokyo store where shoppers could put on a Magic Leap augmented reality glasses to turn their plain black t-shirts into customized apparel that they could actually take home with them. So here you can actually see some photos of what that looked like, and especially how augmented reality is really implemented in business nowadays. Now, other things that are happening and other companies implementing augmented reality, which by the way is not necessarily metaverse, but it's one of the underlying technologies of the metaverse. And you can see that augmented reality is actually doing great things, it's creating more value for businesses, and therefore it's also definitely an argument in favor of the success probability of metaverses. But another way it was implemented was by luxury car company Ferrari, for example, as most of you know, and they now showcase their models in augmented reality. So car shoppers can walk around the cars and can even delve into the car's engine and braking systems and can even customize them. Well, in reality, they're just one color, for example, and they can change them into a different color to see what they look like. Now, apart from these arguments in favor of that metaverses and the underlying technologies such as augmented reality, but also virtual reality actually work, we can also see real life examples of companies and venture capitals actually funding metaverse projects, showing that there's real interest and also capital lining up to support metaverse and all of its use cases and applications. For example, and then specifically for metaverses in the Web3 space, so also implemented with blockchain and crypto, you can see that Web3 startups in 2022 raised a total of $7.16 billion in total in investments. Then you're thinking, well, that's a total, of course. How much of that went into metaverses? And I want you to make a guess before I tell you. As you can see right here, the top projects per category were metaverse, gaming, infrastructure, social, AR and VR, and AI. Well, if we combine AR and VR and metaverses, we have over $500 million in 1 year invested in all sorts of metaverse projects. hundreds of them literally. So this is definitely proof that metaverses have a major impact on the entire business climate. And other businesses see this funding going to these new metaverse projects and businesses, and they have to act upon it as well. What you can also see, and you have probably heard news about this lately, is that major celebrities and big name brands are also embracing the metaverse. Like we just talked about, H&M, Ferrari, but also major luxury clothing stores are now launching their own digital collectible collections. So it shows you that crypto, but especially metaverse, because this is really easy to understand for people, is catching speed. Now this is not all positive, of course. What we've also seen is that with this increased funding, increased interest, and the trend really around metaverses and also crypto, but especially metaverses, is regulatory pressure. For example, that US senators right now say that metaverse should not be available to teens. So even though there are great developments in the entire metaverse sphere, and it has an amazing impact on business already, and it's continuing to do that, there are also some negative sides to the story. But alright, now we've reached the end of this video. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to add a like and add comments with questions I might have missed, and subscribe to our channel.